What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Sunday, December 15th, 2024, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now it is 16:20 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from here in the United States and also from Russia. But before I get into the breaking news, I just want to share this GoFundMe with you guys. This person reached out to me, and apparently their cars were broken into in their driveway, and there was major damage done to their vehicles, and also their driver's license and personal documents were stolen from the vehicles. So they lost a lot of their personal documentation that they left in their wallet and in their purse. And so they're asking for help, financial help, to recover the documents and fix their vehicle. And this is a legitimate GoFundMe. You can see here the local sheriff's office came by their house and was dusting their vehicles for fingerprints here. So check them out. I'm going to leave a link to the GoFundMe in the comments section. So last night we had the Russian Stalingrad clock playing on one of the Russian strategic frequencies on 6.911 megahertz. And the Stalingrad clock, if you don't know what that is, quick history lesson. We had the Battle of Stalingrad in World War II, where the Nazis invaded Russia, and they literally wanted to take the entire western part of Russia all the way up to the Urals, because Hitler thought that that was part of German territory, or that Germans were entitled to it. It was part of his disturbing vision for a greater Germany, which is what Putin is trying to do now with Russia, with trying to expand Russia's sphere of influence. But anyway, in Stalingrad, the Russian army would play on loudspeakers in the city of Stalingrad. They would play this clock. It sounded just like a ticking clock, and then it would be interrupted with a message in German that said every 7 seconds a German soldier dies. And this was basically a psychological warfare trick to try to get the Germans to quit fighting, okay? And Stalingrad was basically the turning point of the war, of World War II. Once the Germans were defeated by the Russians in Stalingrad, basically the Nazis lost all their strength, their backbone, and then that's when things went the other way for Hitler. But apparently, over the last 48 hours, numerous radio observers have noticed that in playing this Stalingrad clock, and I myself listened to it last night, it was playing several hours overnight last night. Now, in addition to this Stalingrad clock, we also saw yesterday these really creepy and unusual signal-to-text transmissions on the Russian buzzer. Now, the Russian buzzer is the primary nuclear war frequency for the Russian military. So these signals were broadcasted by somebody else, not by Russia, but maybe by the CIA or by NATO or by Ukraine. And they were basically trolling Russia, kind of doing the same thing that Russia did to the Germans in Stalingrad. Okay, they were broadcasting these messages to try to psych out the Russians. And I did a video on that yesterday. You may want to watch that video if you missed it so you can get caught up to speed. But in addition to that, we have the U.S. primary nuclear war frequency, 11.175 megahertz, broadcasting encrypted data nonstop since yesterday evening, when those signal-to-text transmissions on the Russian buzzer were transmitted. And then also now we have Russia with their Stalingrad clock. So something is brewing, guys. Okay, we know that the Pentagon said a couple of days ago that they do expect another Russian ICBM strike on Ukraine very, very soon, potentially in the coming days. We know that Russia has closed the airspace over Kapustin Yar, which is the missile test site that Russia launched the first ICBM from. They closed the airspace all of next week through Friday, every night from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so guys, get prepared. We also had satellite imagery indicating that Russia was preparing to launch over 20 Oreshniks at Ukraine. There were over 20 launchers spotted at Kapustin Yar getting ready to launch on Ukraine. So this could be a monstrous strike, a strategic attack on Ukraine, potentially even nuclear. And what's very concerning is that in the last Ukraine aid package, there was a significant amount of CBRN equipment. That's chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear equipment, okay? You don't give that to soldiers for no reason, all right? So the U.S. is giving Ukraine CBRN equipment, and about 2 months ago or a month ago, Russia started building these container fallout shelters, okay, shipping container fallout shelters that are quick and easy to build and they can mass produce. And so that's another sign that Russia's preparing for something. If they're mass producing shipping container fallout shelters, okay, and we know that the Nordic countries have handed out World War III and nuclear war survival manuals. The Baltic countries have done that already. Poland has done it. Poland is building the largest defense line in Europe since World War II, worth $2.5 billion with multiple layers of defense, minefields, anti-tank trenches and obstacles, bunkers, all kinds of stuff, okay, observation posts, everything. So absolutely crazy times that we're living in. But let me play this clip of the Stalingrad clock that Russia broadcasted last night, and they also broadcasted it 2 days ago. And it just keeps going on, and it was doing that for several hours last night, okay? So this is clearly some kind of psychological warfare, either by the Russians or maybe by the Ukrainians, maybe by the West. Maybe these are the Ukrainians trolling the Russians, and they're playing their own Stalingrad clock against them to kind of say to the Russians, hey, you know, your time is running out. You know, I don't see why Russia would play this clock on their own frequency. It doesn't make sense. So somebody else was playing the Stalingrad clock on the Russian frequency, strategic frequency, okay, to psych out the Russians. That's what it seems like to me. And just to review what happened yesterday, here you can see the signal-to-text transmissions. You can see it says here, something gonna happen. Okay, and then also suicide is the only escape. You can clearly see that here. And then there was also the CIA logo here. Okay, you can see 4.625 megahertz. That's the Russian buzzer, their primary nuclear war frequency. This looks like a Freemason symbol. I'm not sure exactly what that is. And here we have what appears to be some kind of a saint, a Russian Orthodox saint or Ukrainian Orthodox saint. Appears to be Matthew, one of the 12 apostles. Here we have some kind of a woman, either with an afro or some kind of a halo around her. Not sure who this would be. If you guys have any idea, let me know. And then there's another person here. Not sure if this is a man or a woman. It looks like they have long hair. And then here there's this website that is actually a CIA website address, okay, that they broadcasted. So you can see it says CIA.gov and then a bunch of numbers and letters. And if you actually pop that into your Google, it's actually this right here. Okay, this is some kind of a CIA secure onion site. Okay, so this is like an encrypted Tor network. So this is extremely strange what's going on. And here's an example of the encrypted data that the U.S. has been transmitting on the primary nuclear war frequency since yesterday. And we've been monitoring all of this live in the 24/7 live stream, so you should tune into my 24/7 live stream throughout the day, or just have it on in the background when you're at work. You can leave the live stream on your phone, and you can hear the nuclear attack options being broadcasted while you're at work. You can hear the Russian nuclear war frequencies. And before I continue with the breaking news, I want to just mention the sponsor for this update, which is EMP Shield. Some of you guys may have heard of them. Proud to announce that I'm partnering with EMP Shield. I have a discount code for you guys. You can get 15% off of all of their products, their entire website, and 15% off with the promo code NYPrepper. Okay, the link is in the description below this video, as well as the promo code. But they not only have EMP protection for vehicles, they also have it for radios. I think I'm going to get one for my radio to protect my radio system here on the channel. I'm also going to get one for my generators. Okay, but they have all kinds of EMP protection devices called EMP shields for solar, for three-phase batteries, European vehicles, RVs, everything you can imagine. They have EMP protection for, and these are military grade. They have passed military inspection, and they are IP66 water resistant. They are an American-based company, veteran-owned. Lots of good endorsements here. You can see they surpassed all military EMP testing standards, and they're very easy to install. So I highly recommend you get yourself an EMP shield for your vehicles. And if you have a generator, get one for your generator. Get one for your radio if you have a ham radio. And use my promo code NYPrepper to get 15% off of all of their products. And I want to update you guys on this drone invasion in the United States. So last night there were drones, or UFOs, spotted in Washington, D.C. Here we have video footage showing some kind of a UFO near the U.S. Capitol building. Actually, 3 of them. Okay, so there's the U.S. Capitol, and I'm just going to play the video here with the audio.
I'm telling you, that they're not moving. They're staying stationary. They're hovering.
They kind of look wide too.
Look at the lights changing.
It is moving.
No, it's not.
You can see that it's hovering, and there's no blinking strobes like on a helicopter or any kind of legal aircraft. There has to be certain safety measures in place. If you're going to fly any kind of manned aircraft, there have to be strobes and different kinds of identifiers. And here you can see these 3 orbs, or I don't know what they are, flying saucers just to the left of the Capitol building, and they are just hovering. Okay,
I'm telling you, that they're not moving. They're staying stationary. They're hovering.
They kind of look wide too.
Look at the lights changing.
It is moving.
No, it's not.
It looks like it.
Yeah, but they're not moving. That's an airplane. Hang on.
Which one? The one closest to the Capitol building?
Hang on, let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, that's an airplane.
But the one in the middle, that one.
That's an airplane. You can see it moving.
Yeah.
The one to the right, or over here,
The one behind the Capitol building is not an airplane.
or over here. That's an airplane. Okay.
Yeah, over there is, but look at
Yeah,
that one.
and I'm saying, like, when you look to the left of the Capitol,
That one.
those are not moving.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. They're here.
Can we go back in the car?
They're here, Ella.
Okay.
look, they're just hovering. I mean, that is just totally insane, guys. Totally insane. I know there's a lot of skeptics out there. People are saying, oh, they're just planes. Some of these sightings are people that are misidentifying them as planes, but some of them, like in this case, you can clearly see that this is not a plane, and it's flying in restricted airspace, guys. You cannot fly over Washington, D.C. unless you have permission from the military. Okay, only like police and military can fly over DC. Okay, so these are not just some, hobby pilots flying their plane around DC. Okay, and there's no strobe lights. As you can see, they have 0 identifiers on them. They're just hovering in the air. Okay, look at that. I mean, that is just totally insane. And here we have some more footage coming out of DC. This is on 495, which is the main highway in DC area, and you can see these UFOs or drones on video.
Drones are over DC now. It's not on flight aware.
And here we have some chatter between U.S. Air Force helicopters and an air traffic controller in the D.C. area talking about drones in Zone 3. Let me play this for you.
We have a drone here in Zone 3, approximately 600 feet high.
So a drone in Zone 3, approximately 600 feet high. I don't know what Zone 3 is. If any of you guys know, send me an email.
Power muscle 2, actually it seems like three different drone size entities in Zone 3.
3 different drone size entities in Zone 3. Okay, this is a U.S. Air Force helicopter with the call sign Muscle. They're hovering. Looks like they have green and red lights.
Guardian, do you have an aircraft hovering over Upper Marlboro? Yes, level 2, copy. We've got the company traffic site will be number 2 behind us. I'm asking you about the traffic at 12 o'clock, 6 miles in your airspace, about 2,000 feet. Do you have it, or 1,500 feet? Do you have it? All right, well, we're going to see what it is. Kind of clarification. So the drones that we were seeing, so we had a few drones high, about 900 feet MSL, and then 2 drones low, maybe about 600 feet.
So a few drones high at about 900 feet above sea level and a few drones low at about 600 feet. And this corroborates that video that I showed you, okay, the guy with his daughter filming the 3 UFOs left of the Capitol.
MSL, they were in Zone 3, hovering around Route 2, right as you make the turn along the river.
They were in Zone 3 hovering around Route 2 right as you make the turn along the river. I'm assuming that's the Potomac River.
The one we saw was stationary, and as soon as we got within about a mile of it, it is accelerated and could not keep up.
The one we saw was stationary. As soon as we got within a mile of it, it accelerated and could not keep up. Okay, so this was the Prince George County Police, and they sent out a police helicopter to investigate. Okay, the U.S. Air Force asked them to investigate, and they could not keep up with it. Okay, that sounds extraterrestrial to me, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. And 2 Russian oil tankers sunk in the Black Sea this morning. Look at this, guys. This is totally... So there's literally one sinking to the bottom of the Black Sea. We don't know if they were hit by Ukrainian sea drones. That's what it seems like to me. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I wanted to just update you guys on everything. Also, the Ukrainians hit an Oman base in Grozny in Chechnya. Oman is part of Putin's personal army. Okay, Oman is like a security service that protects Putin, sort of like the Secret Service. It's a secret police. I'm assuming they're there in Grozny to protect Kadyrov. So that was the second hit on the Russian secret services in Grozny by Ukraine. And also there was a 911 call center in North Stonington, Connecticut that received a report of a drone that was landing near a solar farm and sucking up the power from the solar farm. But I will be back later on with more breaking news, and I'll be in and out of the 24/7 stream every night this week, monitoring the situation with Russia and potentially their next Oreshnik strike. Potentially it could be nuclear this time, so make sure you guys are prepared. Make sure you have fallout shelters, stock up on food, water, medical supplies, and self-defense equipment, and check out my nuclear war survival playlist. I'll leave a link in the top right corner. And until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 P's: prepare, practice, and persevere. Culinary out.